3, 2, 1. Episode 24 of White Claw Wednesday.
Get that right in the mic. 24, everyone. Welcome back.
It's a special episode because it's the 24th episode on the 24th of the month.
Look at that. It's also special because Kobe. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Kobe. And also we have new lighting.
We do have new lighting. Shout out to my dad.
Because the garage is still busy, so we're outside again, and now we have lighting, so
it's a construction zone.
Yeah,
right
it is
now.
a construction zone, yeah, definitely.
I actually enjoy being outside, though.
Yeah, it is
I
nice.
do.
It is. And I feel secure when I have my whole body covered, you know?
Yeah. I also like just right here,
Yeah,
you know?
this is nice.
This is like the channel.
This feels
zoned
cool.
in.
This feels very, yeah.
We got the tower back, of course. This is going to be a regular addition to the episodes, if it fits in nicely.
Yeah.
And I got a ruby grapefruit. I'm switching it up a little bit here.
Okay, I started with natural lime. I was going with my favorite from the pack.
Right on. See, we're doing opposites because that's your favorite, and this
Yeah.
is my least favorite.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, a bug just flew on me.
Yeah.
And that sip that I just took completely validated my opinion.
Yeah.
It's the worst flavor.
It's the
for
worst
sure.
flavor? Okay, yeah. I still think it's so weird that natural lime is the only flavor with a word in front of it that isn't actually used as like the way to define the fruit. It's not actually what the fruit's called. It's just called lime.
Right,
called
right. Where ruby, like you can get away with calling
ruby. You can get away with it
yeah.
because that's actually like a certain type of grapefruit.
Exactly.
Very interesting. So,
what's up, man?
Have you heard of Chris D'Elia?
Chris D'Elia, I have, but remind me who he is.
He's a comedian. You may know him as Justin Bieber's favorite comedian.
Okay.
You may know him as the comedian who was on an episode of Workaholics.
Okay. We're talking about the Me Too stuff?
Yeah, have you heard about it?
I mean, we were hanging out the other day, Frank, and I'm pretty sure you showed me this.
I did?
Yeah. Chris D'Elia, the guy, kind of long hair, was
Yeah,
really friends with a woman.
Yeah, Whitney Cummings.
Whitney Cummings, yeah. Explain it to me again, though.
Well, yeah, so he got accused of sorry, I thought I saw a bug. He got accused of
You probably did.
Yeah, I think it was the flashing light on the
okay.
on the hard drive. He got accused of pedophilia.
Right.
Internet pedophilia by multiple now women. Used to be I'm not sure about the ages, but yeah, basically, yeah, he's
at the time they were
young, 14,
underage.
16, whatever.
Basically, what he was doing was, correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of like trying to flirt with girls that were underage.
Yeah, that's exactly what he
right?
was doing.
Through
Yeah,
his
he
DMing people.
through DMing, and like it was said in an article I read in the LA Times that one of the girls that he DM'd, she had just like recently posted like a 16-year-old birthday graduation post or something, like her like holding like a 1 and a 6 or something.
Yeah.
And then there was another one who I think was 14. But yeah, and what's interesting is that Netflix hasn't pulled down his specials yet, and hasn't removed the episodes of You season 2, which he is in, playing literally who he is. Like he's playing a comedian in season 2 of You, a comedian that preys on girls through social media.
Oh my God.
Oh, and you know what? There was another story. Actually, I read a big article in the LA Times, and the LA Times. I forgot about this other story. He had girls come up to this special like VIP box or something.
Okay.
At like
underage or just? I'm assuming underage.
I think one was 17.
Or was this like an assault type thing?
Yeah, one was 17. I know that, and I can't remember how old the other one was. But it was two friends. And
is he married? Real quick.
What'd you say?
Is he married?
Actually, I don't know if he's married. I feel like he has a girlfriend right now, but I'm not. I honestly have no clue.
Okay.
And pretty much he's trying to get them to drink this whole time. I think it was like a sporting game, something like that. So they had some fancy like box seats for a sporting game, and he's trying to get them drunk, and it's just the three of them in there, and they try to leave, and then he like takes off his pants, and
what the heck?
You know,
this is like the new allegation.
Yeah, well, this is just like the LA Times articles are really long and got really in depth. So yeah, those were part of the details in the LA Times article. And then there was also a section about like he would just say like out of the blue, like he'd DM someone, like an example of the DM conversation was like he'd DM somebody and they'd say, oh hey, whatever, hey, and then basically he'd immediately jump to like, oh, you want to suck my cock, like that was just like one of like the messages that was
how do you
displayed.
How do you have the
and
go ahead.
It's interesting because now there's been a bunch of videos on YouTube coming up clipping him in podcasts basically dropping hints that he's aware of what he's doing is wrong in a way. There's one where it's a clip where he's with Brian Callen and Brendan Schwab, the fighter and the kid podcast. Yeah. And they're talking to the tech person off camera.
Yeah.
And she's giving him updates on whatever they're talking about. And it's like something to do with a mom getting like her son in trouble for like doing something bad with social media.
Yeah, okay.
And basically Chris is like asked the person off camera like, "Oh, how did the mom find out?" It's Snapchat. Snapchats disappear. And then the person off camera says they saved they had the images saved and you can screenshot and screen record and all that stuff. And then Brian Callen jumps in with like, oh yeah, you got to be an idiot to not realize that's obviously going to happen. And then the edited video plays like the Curb Your Enthusiasm music, and the camera just kind of starts zooming in on Chris D'Elia's face after he hears that's literally what his face is. He's like, it's like such a realization face of like, oh fuck. And then
you can screenshot as you go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
there are screen recording apps and softwares that you can easily
you can literally do it on your iPhone.
You can easily like download a program on your computer.
Yeah.
Plug your phone into your computer, run the program, and then record your screen.
I could screen record.
Honestly,
right
I don't
now.
even know if that's a thing, but I feel like that's a thing.
No,
doesn't that sound like a thing?
You can do that. It's built in.
It's built in
to your iPhone. Look,
okay, yeah.
Pull your iPhone out right now.
Yeah.
Swipe up. You see that little play icon right there?
Yeah.
Tap that and you'll start screen recording. It's that easy.
Oh shit! I don't have that.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah, because I stopped updating my iPhone, so it could run better.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm an exception to that. But I bet I could download a program on my computer.
Or you could
do
update your iPhone.
Said. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to slow down my iPhone. What number do you have? What number? Yeah, what number iPhone?
It is 8.
8. Okay, well, it's just one more than me. I have 7. I don't want it to slow down. I want to keep using it for a long time.
I completely understand that. How do you... This is my thing, is like, if you're like someone like that and you're DMing people, and the DMs I saw were on Instagram, and those don't go away.
Those don't go away.
Right.
Yeah. And then he was also emailing people.
Like, what are you thinking when you're like...
I don't know.
You start a conversation with, oh, hey, and then like immediately after you're like, boom. Yeah. To like someone who's underage, it's like, what if like they just immediately were like screenshot like and tweeted like, why did Chris D'Elia just send me this?
Oh, and there was another story about him with I think this girl was the 17-year-old one, and he tried to get her to basically blow his friend before meeting him, so his friend could like test out like whether she was like good for him.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Fucked up.
This is what happens when men have power, dude. I hate to say it, but
yeah, but she didn't. The girl thankfully didn't pursue or go after it.
Right. We're getting some major bugs right now.
Yeah, we are getting some major bugs, man.
I am gonna.
What?
I just thought a bug landed on the mic. I am gonna test it to the lighting. Great lighting. But bugs are like dying, and literally there's one dying on the keyboard right now. You see what I'm looking at, right?
Oh shit, there is one on the keyboard.
Anyways,
yeah. So and there were other stories that it was a long article, and it was. Yeah,
this is just about Chris D'Elia though, but there's a lot of them coming out right now.
Oh yeah, there are.
There's like a resurgence of like the Me Too stuff.
Ansel Elgort got outed apparently for he
His is looking really bad though.
It is looking bad.
Because
it's looking legit.
He's got like the girl
on the Snapchat
with like a photo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and they definitely met up if there's a photo, and
Yeah.
like they exchanged stuff through Snapchat and stuff. And apparently he raped her. So
Yeah, I believe it.
it seems legit. I see the photo. So
I'm gonna bring up a YouTuber right now.
oh, Syndicate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he was
Pro Syndicate.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? He was like the first YouTuber I got into.
Me too.
Very first one. Like
Dude,
I would watch the zombies videos.
I remember watching his vlogs with his first girlfriend.
His first girlfriend, yeah, I remember that too. The girl that accused him, yeah.
Okay, so let me explain for the people that don't know.
Yeah, I don't know more about this story.
Really huge YouTuber, like I don't know.
He was one of the first
10 plus
big
million
gamer
subscribers. I don't know how much,
yeah,
but
he was big.
A lot of like kids growing up in our age group watched him.
Yeah, big time.
And one allegation right now that's going on is another YouTuber who apparently had relations with him, and he apparently lied about having condoms. Then she was like, okay, but you need to pull out, and he didn't proceed to pull out. In fact, he held her down, and or that's according to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then his first girlfriend, well, I don't know if his first girlfriend, but a long time ago, like, what do you think this was, 2012? Maybe even earlier. I don't even know.
That sounds about right.
It's a long time.
It is a long time.
It's at least been 6 years since they were dating, because I was a kid when I remember this.
Yeah, I think it maybe be like 2014 or 2015 maybe.
It was her first boyfriend, though. That I know for a fact from reading about it. And apparently he like invited her out to LA, and like they had been dating for a little while, and then he raped her in a hotel room. And it's crazy to think that people like Syndicate can do that, because like when you're a kid and you're like watching these YouTubers, you know, you're like not that you're admiring them, but you think they're cool, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's true or not, like until something like comes out with like proof and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly believe it, but who am I to say it's true or not?
Yeah.
I do believe the girls that came out, and I believe it because of this. I remember as a kid watching Syndicate, he used to always make jokes about like rape.
Yeah, he would call the zombie when he would run a train. He would call them rape trains.
Rape train. That's what he would say.
Yeah,
and I mean, this is like, I look back on it and like I didn't have perspective back then, but like
you didn't get it. Yeah.
Now I do, and I'm like, whoa, like this guy was like 20 something years old, and he was like, his major fan base was like 7, 8, 9 through maybe 15. That's probably his general fan base.
Yeah.
And he was like saying like rape train like a lot.
Oh yeah, he would always say, "Let's run the rape train."
And I remember like
I would always listen to him say that.
Listen to it, and I probably said it. I probably did.
Oh, I would definitely repeat it. Like
talking
when I would
to my
play
friends about
zombies.
Syndicate.
Yeah,
when
I would play zombies and stuff, I'd be playing with a friend and be like, "Let's run it."
So
I didn't realize yeah. Ooh.
Well, yeah. Back then, you don't know the context, right? Or you don't know the seriousness of what you're saying,
of using that word and that stretch of us,
yeah,
using that word incorrectly, I should say.
And so I believe it for that reason, that he was joking about it back then, especially when your fan base is like just so
and also
innocent,
he
naive,
was
you know,
you got to think of another thing. He's older than us.
Yeah, he's got to be like some closer to 30. Right?
Yeah, so when he was saying that, when he was making that a saying,
that's what I'm saying.
He understood the context far better than his fan base did.
Exactly. He was close to our age, I would presume. He was probably at least 20, you think?
No, he was always older than me significantly. He's at least like 4 or 5 years older than us.
No, I mean at the time.
Oh, at the time
he would have been starting that.
Oh, at the time he started saying that.
Like 20.
He was good, yeah.
At least.
Yeah, exactly.
At least 20.
Least 20. Yeah.
It's
not. I mean, point is, when he started that trend and was big enough on YouTube to actually,
he knew.
He knew what he was saying.
He got away with it because his fan base didn't know. Like his fan base was mainly young kids, and I remember parents being like, "You shouldn't watch Syndicate. Like you shouldn't.
Oh,
like
really?
he's a bad
Yeah, my parents never. I would tell my parents about him sometimes, but they never actually looked into him or anything, and were like,
I mean,
don't watch this.
Most parents aren't really into the internet, so
yeah, or could figure out how to even look him up.
Right, or have the attention span to watch
Yeah,
more than like 5 minutes of him, dude.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy that all these things are coming out, man.
And this this also, it's like, I was watching, because I was actually a Chris D'Elia fan. I mean, I'm obviously not anymore.
I mean, you're just a huge
fan of comedy.
Fan of comedy.
Yeah, that's true. But I would watch Chris D'Elia's podcast. It was pretty funny.
Oh, really?
But I should have seen it when, I should have seen that he was a creep when, because, a podcast is just like the, organic thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
But he said on the podcast that, girl, there's no such thing as a 14-year-old girl anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The girls don't look 14, You're 6 and then you're 25.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And like at the time, like I'm watching and it doesn't
you
really
chuckle, yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, I get you.
But then all this shit comes out,
Uh-huh.
and then, like I said, people are like re-editing podcast footage and uploading it to YouTube, showing the signs, and that's one of the clips that got edited and put up. And it's like, damn, I shouldn't, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to judge a person in hindsight.
It is
when you know the outcome, and you're like, oh, like,
and you're looking back on it,
you're like, all these signs.
Yeah, exactly.
And the same thing with, that happened with what's his name? Totally blanking on me. Louis C.K.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like
same thing. Like when it all came out, I was like, okay, yeah. Like looking back on his jokes and his content and stuff, I was like, okay, all this makes sense.
Yeah, with Louis C.K. it was like he was super funny, and he would make jokes about
the worst kind of stuff.
He's a comedian, right? They joke about everything.
They joke about anything. So it's hard to know, like that's what's so wild about comedians in general.
Yeah.
Is that it's hard to know what's going on actually inside in their mind, because it's like Robin Williams. I mean, one of the funniest guys.
Oh, that's so tragic too.
Funniest guys ever, and he killed himself.
Yeah.
And he was only in his 60s.
Yeah.
So it's like right there, that is something that just tells you about like a man that funny is that sad deep down. So it's like,
well, yeah, I mean,
so that sadness turns into other things in the world of comedy.
I mean,
unfortunately, it turns into creeps too. So
I think a part of being a comic is sort of putting on a show.
Yeah.
And when
having
you
an
get,
appearance,
like when you're as big as Robin Williams was, it's like you always have to have.
You always have to be like.
You always have to have that mask on.
Yeah, like
that personality on.
Yeah.
And so you probably.
Did you see Joker?
It probably just messes with you. No, I haven't. The newest one, I haven't seen it. No.
All right, dude. I mean, whenever you want to come over and watch it, it's on HBO. I'm ready to.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. When you're.
But that movie is a prime example of that ideology of the comedian.
Oh, right, because like the storyline goes into how he basically
his attempt at comedy
embodies.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so, like we were saying about perspective, it's like you put on that mask for so long. You may say some like super stupid jokes.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, like, you can judge these people like, oh, like there was this, and this. But also, that was over a 20-year career, and every comic, not every comic, but a lot of comics make jokes like that,
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, how do you actually, as the comic is like making jokes, how do you decipher?
There's only judging in hindsight.
Right. How do you decipher that?
You can't. Yeah, you can't. You just got to take it. You got to take things as they are. We're not mind readers. You know what I mean?
No, we're not.
So
that would be a weird world.
Could
you imagine?
Bro, there'd be. I don't even know.
I don't even think we would be alive.
I can't even wrap my head.
I think the human race would kill each other off.
Yeah, like if every imagine if every single person could read everybody else's mind.
You'd want to punch everyone, dude. Could you?
Yeah,
imagine?
I don't think we could last that long.
No.
We wouldn't have made it past the early caveman, Neanderthal times.
Exactly.
We wouldn't have made it past that.
Exactly.
Because even the simplest thought of another caveman's right there, and you read his mind, and it's like he's about to take your rabbit or take your mate or whatever, and then you're immediately like, oh, kill him.
Or he glances at your wife.
Yeah,
and
something
he's like, oh, I'm looking
at
her, and you're like, what the fuck?
And then meanwhile, another person watching the murder happen is reading both their minds and gets pissed and comes in and finishes both of them. So it's like, yeah.
So it's a waterfall effect.
That's what
Ironically, I think that cults would do best. Like if you're part of a cult and all of a sudden everyone got to read each other's minds.
Yeah.
I think the people that are brainwashed would survive.
Dude, you know what? I'm so happy we're talking about reading people's minds because when I break down superpowers, if I'm getting superpowers and I'm the only one in the world that has the powers, and the only one in the world who's ever gonna have superpowers, I am taking mind reading.
You think so?
Hell yeah, dude! In a world where I'm the only one with powers,
that's true,
and nobody's ever gonna get shit, the fact that I can read everybody's mind, I would be top dog.
All right, okay, here's the thing.
Of whatever I wanted to be top dog at,
You can
maybe not. I don't know.
It could drive you crazy, though.
It could drive me crazy, yeah.
But it's like one of those risks that you would take.
I'm putting an asterisk. I can turn it on and off. So
I don't know if you can choose that, though. I don't know.
I'm always on. I'm always picking up the
you
signals.
can choose whether to read someone's mind or not.
Okay.
But you can't. Well, I guess that's turning it off and on.
That's turning it off and on, yeah.
All right, I'm going to put a little asterisk as well.
Yeah.
You can read people's minds, but you have to stare at them really, really, really weird.
Okay, would this work?
No.
What kind of weird are we talking? Like
you were just trying to be sexy. What was that?
That was not trying to be sexy. I was just trying to do like weird, like.
Frank, I've seen you do a sexy face, and that was your sexy face.
That
man.
was not fun.
Yes, you've joked around about being flirty, and
that was not Blue Steel. But maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe it started as Blue Steel, and I tried to turn it into something else. But
you just go.
I would. Would
you still do it?
I would still do it. I would still do it. I had to look at the person. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Because, I mean, nobody knows.
But, like,
I'm
you
not
can't
tell
be in
anybody.
a situation where, like,
Gonna tell anybody I have powers.
Let's say, like, you're in a situation where you're talking to, like, Elon Musk, and you're trying to, like, pick his brain and, like, get really, really smart and understand everything.
Yeah, I'm just staring at him.
And so you're having a conversation like this, and all of a sudden, you just have to stick your tongue out and, like...
Oh, is that part of the face? Like,
and,
sticking
like,
my tongue out?
Your eye just starts twitching or something like that. Yeah, like, something weird. Something where people would look at you and be like, what is happening right now?
Dude, I would definitely still take that power.
Okay.
100%. 100%, dude. Dude, I could... Oh, man, dude. Shit, that'd be a great power. And then for,
I don't know what I'd pick.
With everybody else having superpowers, I would take the powers that Kevin has from Ben 10. If anybody would watch Ben 10. I think his name was Kevin. Kyle, maybe. Started with a K. Okay. Character from Ben 10 who could touch something and he would become that material. So if I touch this brick right here, my entire body would be brick, and I would be like mobile like I am right now. So I'd be like a brick, like just throwing. So yeah. So
your
because
skin
if you think
would just like.
Yeah, my whole body becomes that thing though. Like my entire like.
I get you.
I'm built out of it.
What happens if you drink water? He can turn it off and on though.
Yeah, you can turn it off and on.
Okay,
it's a very controllable thing. It's like a. I touch it on brick. I punch the bad guy. He's knocked out.
It's not like
I turn it off.
Fantastic Four.
It's not like the Thing.
The Thing.
Yeah, it's not
that's
like
what
the
it is.
Thing.
The Thing.
The Thing. The big rock guy. Yeah, no, it's not the Thing. It's not the Thing.
It's funny you say rock guy because that's exactly what I was gonna say.
And the other thing, he's the Thing. But the other thing is, I wouldn't be like a material. Like I wouldn't be like bricks. Like actual, like my body would still look the same. Like it would still have the same definition, like curves and fingers and all that stuff. But I would just literally be made of brick.
Your skin would just be the same thickness, but brick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would pick, man. I don't want to say something like...
Because if you think about it, there's always stuff around you that's like hard as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I mean, you could just touch the floor pretty much at any time.
The cement, bro. Imagine a cement punch.
Or your phone, just be like small metal. Or even plastic, dude.
Bro, imagine...
plastic, you could just float.
I touch my phone screen. Yeah. I have long nails. Fucking knives, man.
Dude.
Dude, just slicing throats.
What is that? Plexiglass.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, so that's my power, obviously, with other supers and super villains.
If everyone... I low-key like the stretch, dude. I honestly would be down to be like...
Mr. Fantastic?
Yes.
Wait, is that your power for nobody else has powers or for other people have powers?
Everyone has powers. I might be Mr. Fantastic.
You're taking Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you know what you want if you're the only one with powers?
I don't. Oh, man. This is what I was just about to say. I don't want to be like stupid and say flying.
Dude, but
like, imagine if I was the only one that could fly.
Don't be stupid and say fly. I mean,
but
no,
imagine.
I'm not trying to tell you not to say fly. I'm doing the opposite. I'm saying fly, although it's like a common choice, it's a great choice.
Like, imagine I could fly, and no one else could.
I mean, I wish I could pick fly if I didn't have my specific reasons for the other two. But I mean, flying would be so fucking cool. I mean, there are so many times where I just like wish I could just fucking take off, dude. Flying,
I know. God. It just depends like how you want to go about it. If like you're really sitting down and you're thinking to yourself like okay, I'm gonna be able to fucking fly, but someone's gonna see me sooner or later. Like it would be in the public eye. Yeah. Whereas mind reading, that's like some secret shit that you could keep to yourself and never tell anyone.
That's why it's a great choice for you being the only one having it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with fly, man.
You're gonna fly? Yeah,
I think so.
That's a good one too, because you can do that and like get away with it. Like you can do that and be to the point where you kind of become like a myth, like Bigfoot. Where like you're seen by someone in Kansas, and then you're seen by someone, in China or whatever.
That's a good point.
And it's like,
I would not wear a cape.
No. You don't want to wear a cape because you're not attracting attention. If anything, you dress in all black, and you just fly through the air and Because when you're in all black and you're flying really fast, like people could just think you're like a
little bird.
Like or like just like a fighter jet, like or something like that. Because if you're up high in the air and you just see like a black speck, you're like, oh.
You get like the water vapor or the vapor or whatever.
Yeah, the trail. Yeah, dude. Fuck, that'd be tight. Did you ever see Chronicle?
That's with the guy who played
Harry Osborn in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I did see that. Remind me what it's about.
It's about Michael B. Jordan's the other one of the three, and then the third guy is like a guy who I honestly haven't really seen anything since, but I know he's been in stuff. But they're three high school students who find a hole in the ground during like a rave party, and they go into the hole in the ground and they touch this like blue energy thingy, and then they get like knocked out, and they wake up with powers.
But the hairy guy kind of goes crazy, right?
The hairy guy goes crazy. He's the bad guy.
What happens to Michael B. Jordan?
Spoiler: Michael B. Jordan dies.
Doesn't Harry kill him or something like that?
He does, yeah. He shocks him with lightning, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other guy is like the good guy.
The other guy's a good guy.
Who's like
who fights Dane DeHaan, aka Harry Osborn at the end. Harry Osborn.
Not Spider-Man, everyone. We're not talking about Spider-Man.
We're not talking about Spider-Man. We're talking about Chronicle.
Yeah, it was actually a really good movie.
Yeah, dude, it was really good.
Really good. I do remember that.
You know what's interesting? Screenwriter of that movie, he's also a rapist too.
Wow.
Yeah, Max Landis.
There's a lot of rapists. This is what I'm saying. You give guys power.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's really sad.
It is.
And the solution to this is like it sounds stupid for me to say this because like I'm not in a situation where
you're holding all the cards.
No, I'm not in a situation where I can relate to like the women, because like I'm really not afraid of like being alone at night or anything like that.
No, yeah, we can't relate to.
I haven't had any
no
sexual harassment.
Yeah, I haven't either. Yeah.
So again, my opinion really may not weigh a lot, but I do think that the solution is women speaking up, like as much as they can.
As much as they can, yeah.
Because the guys think like, hey, I have power, like they're gonna be scared to speak up.
Yeah,
and that's why they think they can get away with it.
That's what's good with it coming back, because you notice how it's that. I mean, that's why sharing the story is good, because it encourages other people to share your story.
And I mean, usually,
obviously it's obviously your choice, of course, always.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
I think that's why a bug just ran into my head. That's why I think it's really good when the stories are shared, because it outs other people. It creates a tumble.
Yep.
Effect.
Give other people courage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, now that we're back on Me Too, there was another YouTuber. I don't know. Do you follow Drama Alert on YouTube?
Yeah, I know
Killer
that.
Keemstar guy.
Yeah, I think I know that name.
Anyways, he did a show on all the Me Too stuff that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
He's a super old YouTuber. I don't even know what his name is. It's like Bubble. I don't know, something weird.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, like, somebody came out and was like, "Oh, he did this to me," and the guy like admits it,
mm-hmm.
and then he's like, and everything I have done in my life has, been because of it. And
I feel like I know who this was, and now I can't.
Everything I've done in my life has been because of it, and I moved on, and like it's just like it was all about like
I'm trying to think who this was
himself, and I was just like, dude, you just admitted to like rape first of all, which I mean, props to you for just like saying it.
No, this sounds super
it.
familiar. I'm trying to remember who this was because I think I read about this. Can you remember the YouTuber's name?
No, but I can probably find it.
Okay, yeah, because I definitely that's.
But he basically says like, yeah, I did it, I moved on. Like all about him kind of, and then he was like, I'm really sorry for what I did. But it was like, dude, you can't just like admit it and then
how
like
old
is he gonna get prosecuted?
When did this Me Too happen? When did this story come out about him? Was it early on was it back in 2017?
Oh no, this was I think recent.
Okay, because there was a YouTuber named Andy Signor, who was the creator of this YouTube series called Honest Trailers, who got Me Too'd in the very beginning of it, right around when Kevin Spacey got Me Too'd. And he came back like a few years later, like just last year, I think, with a video where he was pretty much doing the same thing that you're describing.
Oh, really?
Where he was like, "Oh, I'm starting a new channel, and I just want to apologize," and he pretty much admitted to like, being a disgusting creep. So I reported the video.
Did you?
I did, yeah, immediately.
Nice. Okay, get this. Do you remember Tobuscus? The YouTuber Tobuscus?
No.
He did.
I lied. I thought I knew him.
He did
what
Call of Duty and Minecraft.
No, I don't think I know. Yeah, no, I don't think. I think I was just thinking of the Andy Signor guy.
Oh, he was accused of rape a while ago. I don't know.
And he admitted to it. He said, "Yeah, I did it."
I don't know if he. I don't know if he admitted it.
Who was the guy you said admitted it?
I thought that was him.
That was him. It wasn't him.
It's not. Yeah, it's crazy how all this stuff is coming out. I don't know. I mean,
Justin Bieber also got accused.
Oh yeah, just JB, dude. What the heck?
Yeah, and he immediately like shared some receipts from a Airbnb or something, and
like it was impossible. Basically, like
it was like no way. Like this is what I was doing.
Yeah. I mean, if you're accusing JB, like, you better have a solid ass story because he's got a team.
He's got a team, but not only that. But here's the thing:
he keeps every receipt. Like you got to think.
Yeah.
He's got a team that is strictly there to.
He's got someone to do
track
everything
him.
in his life.
Like, hey, I'm keeping all your receipts, and then maybe if there's a lawsuit in the future, like we can disprove it, and I guarantee that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he was quick to disprove it, and his statement seemed pretty. Seemed pretty real.
It was pretty honest.
Yeah, pretty honest. And I don't know. I mean,
it's hard to say who you believe.
Right? Yeah, I still tread lightly when it comes to these accusations because I always want to believe the woman. But to me, it seems like Bieber has so many fans.
Yeah.
That there could be a one that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I hate to say, just because he's so massive. Like, he's got so many fans.
Yeah.
Like, there's bound to be one that is not mentally stable.
Yeah.
I'll eat my words if everything she says is true and apologize, of course.
Well, no,
but
I mean, you're not saying anything. You're just saying,
I'm just saying it's like with all the stories coming out.
You're saying it's up in the air.
It's up in the air with his.
I mean, it is with all of these until they're proven, right?
But with his, it seems with the receipts and just him being Justin Bieber, it makes it the most up in the air. The other ones have just...
The other ones are pretty...
The other ones have evidence.
I would bet on the other ones.
I would, because they have evidence.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like...
But yeah, I mean, I think it's... It goes to show, I guess, how, if I'm in like I'm not going to use me. Let's say JB and this girl, right? And I think the human mind is very strange, and we don't understand it, right? And so I think if there was like a sexual encounter between these two people, and like maybe it was consensual on like his end, in that he thought it was consensual, and on the woman's end, it might not have been consensual, or it wasn't completely, like she had this like back thought of like, I don't want to be doing this, fast forward 10 years down the line, when you keep rethinking of it, your mind is not rethinking of it actually how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's slightly altered. Everything is slightly altered. And so I think that situations that may be somewhat not as big as an impact on the day can be much more of an impact 10 years down the line. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Like you view your memories in your perspective and your point of view.
But you're not trying to say that doesn't make what happened any less intense or bad.
No, absolutely not.
But what you're saying is, when it comes to recalling memories, just in general, like literally any memory, as time goes on, as years pass, all memories change in little tiny ways.
Exactly.
Just because of the time that's passed of you living it. You know what I'm saying?
And you are...
So that's why stories can come off even better than when they happened.
Yeah, and also...
Or vice versa.
When you're comparing stories with like friends, like we like the Solid Five has been in like situations where we're like thinking of a memory and then we're like, wait, like, oh, like, and then this happened,
and then small details.
And then you'll be like, wait,
we debate.
No. It happened like this.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, oh, you're right. It's like, think about you thinking about a thought. Let's say like, that girl in JB, like, let's say it's real, right?
Uh-huh.
She's alone with that thought and she's keeping it to herself for like 10 plus years or whatever. That's gonna change because it's not getting validated by other people, you know, in the situation that I was just describing, like in the situation I was just describing.
True.
So, I mean, your memories can really change over time. And I think in situations of like rape and sexual assault, I think that's like a serious thing that we all need to realize, you know, not in a negative or positive way. I'm just saying that. Like, that's a huge possibility that, you know, she thinks of it more negatively, and then Justin Bieber thinks of it more positively. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I just think it's a little... It's
hairy is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, it's dangerous to apply the whole thought we're thinking about with memories to, you know, something as serious as rape accusations, just because... I mean,
it's just how the brain works.
I'm just saying, just because, like you were saying, we haven't experienced it.
You're right.
So we don't know if the memory changes.
That's a really good point. It's a really good point. So if it's something that traumatic...
If it's something that traumatic, it's more than likely that you relive it just as... Like in just
vividly,
just as vividly, and in the same state of terror as when it happened.
Right.
It's the same with PTSD. So, I mean, obviously I don't, but stuff we don't know, and it's types of memories we don't have.
Right.
So we can't really say how the memories are affected.
You're right. But you're absolutely right.
I like what you're saying. I just don't think it applies to the whole just rape accusations in general.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But what you're saying is true in terms of memories and changing.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to imply that people are lying or...
Oh, yeah, no, I know you weren't.
Things weren't as serious, but it's just hard to decipher things, you know? And
of course.
When it comes to, like, my word versus yours, it's, like, always up for interpretation. And I don't know, it's a tough world out there. I would just encourage people to speak up as soon as possible, you know? Like, I don't know what's going through your mind, and... You know, I know people who have been affected by sexual assault, people very close to me. And, you know, I don't know how to talk about it, discuss it, because, again, what do I know, like you were just saying? And it's a tough subject. It's a really tough subject. And
yeah, no, it is.
There's evil in this world. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's, you know, I was at church, speaking about evil. Church, believe in Satan. There we go. That's evil. Segue.
Whoa.
What? Churches, believe in Satan. Okay. Segue, evil. I'm at church, and...
You do that segue a lot. Do you notice that?
Yeah, well,
speaking about this.
I was trying to segue. I went to Mass on Sunday, because it was Father's Day.
Right on.
And my dad is a devout Catholic. Shouts out.
St. Andrews?
St. Andrews.
Right on.
Outside Mass.
Stomping grounds?
Yeah, I have to wear the mask the whole time.
Okay.
We finish mass. The priest says his last thing. He says, "You may go in peace." As soon as the priest finishes what he was saying and mass is over and everybody starts walking away, this woman behind me just starts shouting this prayer.
Whoa. Do you know what prayer was it?
Ryan, in these moments, I get blinded.
Okay.
By this white heat.
Okay.
Where I'm just so focused on the fact that what's happening is happening that I can't pick out the details of what she's saying.
I get it. Yeah.
Like,
I
like I'm walking, like I'm immediately walking away from mass because obviously I feel like I just left the Waco meeting. So I'm trying to get out of here, and then she actually turns it into Waco, and just starts. But this is what I'm saying, Ryan, is her just off cuff as soon as mass ends, her just starting to sprout prayer is like more Waco vibes that I don't need. So I'm immediately like, I just keep walking. So I'm not listening to what she's saying, but she's just doing some prayer. And she's got a bunch of friends with her. They're all women, and they all come to mass, and they're all like, I know all this stuff because my dad goes to church every Sunday. I never go anymore unless it's like a Father's Day holiday. And I know about these women because he tells me about them, and he says they're very intense, and like they'll get like completely down on their knees and like put their faces into the ground like during the process.
No pun intended.
The process before communion, where some people kneel in traditional.
I guess
that's
not
Catholic
a
church.
big deal.
Yeah, but like
Muslims
they put their faces in the ground. Like
Muslims
most Catholic church. Well, yeah, but I'm talking about Catholic church.
Okay,
like,
I get what you're saying.
Because usually it's just kneeling, but and they're also like opening their mouths and like put the communion in my mouth, priest. They're super, and they never have a man with them.
Interesting.
So I was like trying to come up with something to refer to them as, and I came up with MAWBAN. It's an acronym. MAWBAN.
MAWBAN. MAWBAN.
It stands for might as well be a
man.
Nun.
Oh, damn.
Get it?
I did, yeah.
Because nuns.
Because they don't.
Nuns are like the female
right?
priest. Yeah, they practice abstinence, and they do all exactly. So it's like I came up with that. I was like, that's perfect, because obviously these women seem like they're married to God in the sense where they don't have boyfriends or husbands they're coming to church with. They're they're all about every Sunday together, praising. So I'm thinking, guys, like let's just put the outfit on. Like, come on. Like,
what's the acronym again?
MAWBAN.
MAWBAN.
MAWBAN. MAWBAN.
I love it, dude.
Might as well be a nun.
We could do a whole episode on religion.
We could, right?
Some of you might not like it, but
but
we'll hold our tongues.
Yeah.
And I respect everyone who is a devout.
Yeah, I have
religious person.
So many friends.
Who
are religious, and my dad.
Guest appearance, Sam O'Neill.
Yeah, Sam walking in on an episode.
We are wrapping it up though.
Yeah.
Right now. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're definitely on camera.
Yeah, you're on camera.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in this week.
Yeah, episode 24 on the 24th. Thanks
episode
for watching.
24. Rest in peace, Kobe. Peace out, everyone.
Cheers.